Hey everybody, Tony Trino here with TopSecretAutos.com, and I'm here today to talk to you about automobile finance contracts. We're going to go over a couple contracts, show you what to be aware of, what to look for when you get back to the finance office, so you can double check, make sure that no hanky-panky's going on, no smoke and mirrors, no sleight of hand movements by the finance manager. Once you know these simple little tricks, you'll be in control and you won't be able to be smoked by the finance manager. So hope you enjoy it. Let's start right in and take a look at the two contracts that you're going to see the most of when you get back to the finance office. The first one here is called a banker system contract, probably the most common used. The reason that is because it is generic in that it's an assignable contract, and what that means is any bank that will approve your loan will accept this contract. All the dealership has to do is take this little assignee box and write the name of the bank in there. In fact, they can do it by hand. They can write Bank of America in here, and as long as Bank of America approved your loan, they will accept this contract. Okay, banker system is probably the number one. The number two contract that you'll see back in a finance office is called a law contract. Law contract, also a generic contract. As you can see, it's much bigger, much longer. If you look at the back of it, the fine print's a little bigger on the law contract than what's on the banker system contract, but they're both generic, they're both assignable contracts, so they have a lot of flexibility. The other contract you'll see is going to be through the manufacturer, and they will be used in situations where you see the low interest rates, the 1.9, the 2.9, the 3.9. When they have those low subvented rates from the factory, those have to go on a factory or a manufacturer contract. GMAC, Ford Motor Credit, Infinity, whatever it is, that's the time that you'd see one of those contracts. Kind of the exception to the rule. Not a lot of those kind of deals going on right now, but those are typically the three that you'll see the most of. Okay. Now, what you need to be aware of, the first thing you need to be aware of when you look at one of these is you want to be aware of the Fed box. In any retail installment agreement, whether you're buying a house or a car or a motorcycle or a boat, if you're signing a retail finance agreement, it's going to have this Fed box in there. And what the Fed box is, it is a fully disclosure of what your interest rate is, what your payments are, your total payments, your interest charges. It's gonna disclose all that in this box right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. Annual finance or annual percentage rate, finance charge, amount financed, total payments, and total sale price. That's all going to be disclosed in the Fed box. When you get back to the finance office, a couple things that you got to know. Number one, you got to know your interest rate. Don't ever come back into a finance office without knowing what your interest rate is. A lot of times people will come back here and they'll know what their payment is and they'll agree to the payment out at the salesperson's desk. They'll come back here and they don't know if that payment was 48 months, 60 months, 72 months, 84 months, 90. They just don't know. So you got to know what your interest rate is and you got to know what your term is. Okay? The third thing you got to know is your total drive-out figure for the vehicle. If you agreed to pay $15,000 plus tax, title, and fees, you need to know what that tax, title, and fees amount is before you get back here. That would be classified as your amount financed, which is the third box over. Okay, very important. That's probably one of the most important figures that you need to know when you get back to the finance office. What is your drive-out figure? What is your amount financed before any back-end products, which is extended warranty, gap insurance. We'll talk about that on another video, but the amount financed is essentially your drive-out figure for the vehicle, which includes your tax, title, and all your fees. Okay, so let's go through this one at a time here and just kind of break it down real quick. Again, if they told you your interest rate was 8%, 8% should be in this annual percentage rate box right here. If it's 9%, got a problem. You need to find out why. What's the difference? Okay. Second box over here is your finance charges. Okay. Finance charges is predicated on the full length of the contract. In other words, this is a 60-month contract. If you were to make all 60 monthly payments, you would have paid on this particular deal $6,097 in finance charges. But since this is a simple interest loan, simple interest is part principal, part interest on each payment. There's no prepayment penalty. So what that means is if you paid this vehicle off, let's say in 24 months, or if you traded it in 24 months, then you only would have paid interest on 24 monthly payments. And that figure could have been, say, $2,000 or whatever. So the only time you'd pay this full amount would be if you make all 60 monthly payments, or all 72 monthly payments, or all 48 monthly payments. Okay? Next box over, amount financed. Again, next to the interest rate, the amount financed is going to be the most important number. Probably, I would say, the most important number on this. Again, interest rate, very important, but this is going to be very important as well. So you need to make sure that if they told you that your total drive out was $20,000, this number right here needs to be $20,000. Okay? And also, this number down here at the very bottom, that is also your amount financed. So you can kind of double check. This number up here and this number down here should be exactly the same. Okay? Next box over is total of payments. Kind of self-explanatory, but what that is if you got a $200 a month payment, you got 60 monthly payments, 200 times 60 is $12,000. In this case, the monthly payment is $368.74. If you take that and multiply it times 60, you'd come up with $22,124.40. Okay. Last box over here is total sales price. Now, little misleading because it says total sales price, and a lot of people think, well, sales price, that's what I'm paying for the car. But actually, that's not. That if you look in the little box up here, it says the total cost of your purchase on credit, including your down payment. So actually what that figure is your total of payments, which in this case is $22,124, and your down payment was $2,500. Is they take this number, they add your down payment for a total of $24,624. Okay, so don't get misled by this number. It's not how your finance charges are based, or that's not what you're paying for your car. The amount that you're paying for the car, again, is the amount financed. Make sure that, again, before you get back to sign one of these, that number is exactly the same as what they told you out at the sales desk before you came back to the finance office. Those should be exactly the same. Okay, so that's it for the finance contracts. Hope to see you on the next one, which will go over the numbers and disclose on how all the numbers are computed. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you then. Thanks.